Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Gemini, and you guys that have been watching me for a while might notice that I don't have any lights on or anything like that, and that's because this video is not being made for entertainment purposes, as it were. Today, I want to share something with you guys that's been happening to me that I find really difficult to talk about and kind of scary, and the reason I'm putting it out here on the internet is because I've sort of run into a brick wall looking for people that relate to this kind of thing. Just so you know, I am seeking help. I'm currently speaking to doctors and professionals and psychiatrists and everything else that might be able to help with this particular situation. But I'm mostly making this video just in case I don't wake up tomorrow. Saying it out loud, I get how morbid that sounds. This isn't a precursor to a snuff video or an offing attempt or anything like that. Like, don't worry, I'm okay. But I need you guys to know something. So for quite a while now, like the past few years, I've been getting quite serious episodes of what I think could be sleep paralysis. For those of you guys that don't know, sleep paralysis is this like really strange phenomenon where your brain wakes up before your body does. Because when you enter REM sleep or rapid eye movement (REM sleep), your brain kind of like detaches from your body so that you don't act out your dreams. So that if in your dream you happen to be cooking a nice steak, you don't parade downstairs and actually try cooking a nice steak because in your sleep that could be potentially dangerous. Anyway, that's what happens. When an episode of sleep paralysis occurs, it's usually because the person is like so exhausted or something like that that the brain isn't ready to wake up yet. Or more like the body isn't ready. The brain is up and awake and alert. So what's been happening to me, I think, could be this, but the problem is when it happens to me, it happens more and more frequently and it's more and more severe all the time. And when I say frequently, I mean 2 or 3 times a night. All the time. Every night without fail. Some people experience sleep paralysis like more often than not. Some people get it like every week or every month or something like that. You know, people that work in stressful environments and everything report that they get this a lot. But when it happens to me, it's a little bit different to how when people describe it. So on top of the fact that it happens so frequently, and I mean it every night. Like if I ever have a whole night where I sleep and don't experience a paralysis episode, I wake up like really excited. Like, oh my god, it didn't happen. This is great. You know, it's got to a point where I know it's going to happen now, and it seems to be getting worse. Some people, when they experience sleep paralysis, report seeing things in the room. You know, they're stuck with their eyes open and there's something in the corner of the room and there's, you know, monsters and sounds and things like that. People report seeing all sorts, from aliens to vampires to just random shadows to dead people. For me, it's the opposite. My eyes don't open. In fact, usually my eyes are rolling as they do in your sleep, and sometimes they'll flicker ever so slightly, and I'll get a glimpse of the room, and I'll try and look around to see if there's anything in there with me. But you can't just open your eyes. Like, you have no control over it. Your eyes don't open of their own accord. They're just like, now and again, they'll randomly flicker open when your eyes are moving. But you can't control, like, where you're looking or what you're looking at. You can't even really control your breathing. That's the thing that's scaring me. When I say paralyzed, I mean fucking paralyzed, like completely immobile. Like, I can't talk, and no matter how much you struggle or writhe or try to scream or try to control your breathing, you're completely out of touch with it. Your body does what it fucking wants. So, you know, I'll be laying there and like trying to control my breathing and trying to move, and then I'll get sick of it because it won't work. And then I'll try moving again, and eventually it'll just like, and I'll shock myself awake, and it'll happen. And like, it used to be when I first started experiencing this, that when I recognised that I was still dreaming, in the dream, it's going to sound really weird, but in the dream I would just put my hands behind my back and fall forwards, because you know when you fall in a dream and you suddenly shock yourself awake, well, that's what I used to do, and that used to break the paralysis, and it doesn't work anymore. Like I'll fall in the dream, and then like my brain will make up a scenario, like I'll hit the ground and I'll be okay. I'll just keep moving. But I'll still be trapped in the dream, like in this stasis. It's not even a dream most of the time. Like a lot of the time when I recognise that I'm dreaming, the dream turns off and it just becomes blackness, and then I'm like laid there in my room, laying on the bed, and it's just completely dark. But I can't open my eyes or move or get up and do anything about it. I can imagine doing those things, and I can send the signal from my brain to my limbs saying, get up, move around, breathe properly, and it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. Now, the reason I say it's been going worse recently is because I know that these episodes used to last a couple of minutes at a time. Sometimes it's just a couple of seconds, and you're like, oh no, this is happening again, and then you're awake, and it's, oh my god, thank god, it didn't last very long. But there's some of them now that last literal hours. Like, it gets to a point where I think I'm in a coma. Like, I'm very aware of it. I can feel the sun on my face, or I can feel the cold, or I can feel the covers against my feet. And I can hear everything that's going off around me in real time. I can hear cars passing by outside and people having conversations. And that's how I've learned to time how long these things are going on for, and the reason I recognise that they're taking so long. When I sleep, I like white noise, because my brain has a tendency to make up, like, frightening scenarios in the nighttime. I sleep better with sound. Like, some of you guys that sleep with the TV on might actually recognize this. It's not necessarily that, like, I need the light, but I need something to concentrate on, something to draw my focus, because my brain is not my friend. And I always, always, always listen to the same playlist. And it's by a gentleman named 42. Aaron Lomas, amazing YouTuber, phenomenal, like just over 5 million subscribers, and he does like educational videos and things like that, and they're brilliant. But he's also got a great voice, and I like falling asleep to it. And he's got one particular playlist, and it's all about science, and discovery and mysteries of science and things like that. And I think it's brilliant. But I know I know which video it starts with, and that's how I'm able to time it. I know the video it starts with, and I know the sequence of videos, so I can recognise when I wake up. So it's like, if I come to and I can hear 32's voice in the background talking about Isaac Newton, then I've only been asleep for half an hour. Most of the videos are about 15 minutes long, so I know that if it's like, I've listened to the first one, it's finished, and the second one started, and and because I'm so familiar with the playlist, I know whereabouts I am in it, so I'm able to time how long it takes, like how many episodes of 32 do I get through before my body will physically wake up. But my brain will just lay there for hours listening to 32, and I'm learning a lot, I'm taking in the information. But I'm not able to physically move. And that's why I know that it's lasting so long, because like some of these playlists, like this playlist goes on for days, so it's so I know how long the videos are, and I'm able to time it. So it's like, right, okay, today I've been completely paralyzed for 48 minutes. Sometimes it's like I've been paralyzed for 2 hours and I'm still here. What the fuck do I do? But I'm panicking because I don't really know what I would do if I didn't wake up. I just need people to know that if one day they find my body in bed, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Obviously, like, technology would let people know that I am in fact still alive, because I'm still breathing and everything. But sometimes breathing is difficult. Like if I happen to be paralyzed and I've turned over in my sleep and I've got my face in the pillow, I have to really focus on breathing. Like, you've got to concentrate on it so hard. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, and like keep your lungs filled, because like there was one time where I actually tried to hold my breath, to see if I could control it, and sometimes your body just stops breathing, and it's harder to start breathing again than it is to stop. I can stop myself breathing. I can just be like, okay, I'm going to stop breathing now. But when you're paralyzed, if you stop breathing, you stop breathing. Like, it just, like, it randomly turns back on, but you can't control it, so it's like drowning. Also, the other thing that's nerve-wracking is swallowing, because I can feel like spit and saliva building up in my mouth, because when you sleep, you do, your body does it. It's gross. I hate talking about it because I know there's videos going up. But spit builds up in your mouth. But if I'm laid on my back, I can't swallow. Like, because you're completely paralyzed, you can't swallow. So you choke. Like, and I'm really, really scared that, like, one of these nights I'm going to be, like, completely paralyzed and not able to do anything about it, and I'm going to choke to death in my sleep. And I'm going to know it's happening, like, I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to be able to do anything about it. So, yeah, just, if anyone's familiar with this weird phenomenon, or if you know what it is it sleep paralysis? Is it something different? Have you never heard, this is the first time you've ever heard of this before? But it's affecting my life in a lot of different ways. Like, sleep is terrifying, and when I can do it, it's exhausting. It's really hard to work. It's really hard to focus. It's really hard to, like, see people. I'm not the most social of people anyway, and I have a plethora of ongoing issues that some of you guys will already be familiar with. But yeah, that's that anyway. That's what's happening to me. I don't know what to do about it, and I don't know if it's going to get better. So, if I do end up in some kind of coma, I want you to know that I can hear you. I can feel everything, and I'm aware of everything. So, if they put me in one of these coma beds and I'm, like, paralyzed for years and I can't do anything about it, I need you guys to come and see me and read to me. I need someone to read me Harry Potter. I don't care how many times, and I don't care which one. Like, I really like the story, and if you have to leave me there, put 32 on for me so that I can listen to the playlist, because I'll hear it. So, yeah, that's the weird shit that's happening to me recently. I'm sorry to you guys that have been, like, missing me, and that's an alarm I set. That's that. It's hard to talk about. It's really weird, and I don't know enough about it to explain it without sounding like I'm making it up. But I just wanted this video out here in the public for everyone to be able to find, so that if I do suddenly go into a coma and nobody can figure out why, you'll probably see it on the news and you'll be like, wait, this guy. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening to this strange thing. If any of you guys relate to it, or if you know what's going on, just leave me a comment. I'll read them all. I am seeing doctors and specialists, like I say, but I've made no real progress yet because we don't know what's happening. I'm thinking about getting one of these sleeping apps as well that, like, tells you sort of what's going on while you're sleeping, because obviously I don't really know what's happening to my body. I can just relay what I felt. A lot of the time it's really scary. I think a lot of sleep paralysis as well, when people say that they see demons and monsters and aliens and things like that, I think that's your brain's way of coping with what's happening, like what's happening to you. I've never seen anything. I've felt things, but mostly when I'm in, like, raw panic, when I'm like, oh my god, I'm dead. Because when it first started happening, I thought I was dead. Like, I was like, I'm dead. I'm dead. This is death. This is what death's like. There's no heaven. There's no hell. There's just darkness, and that's it. But then I realised I could breathe and stuff. And anyway, I'm rambling. I've said my piece. I'm gonna have to go. Thank you guys again so much for listening to me ramble. And if you relate, drop me a comment and let me know what's going on. I'll keep you updated. I don't intend to quit YouTube or anything like that, and I am hopefully not gonna die. That's just that's it. Thanks, guys. Bye.